Hey, what's happening, everybody? You're tuned into another episode of The Yard. Today, we're talking about the Illuminati, the narrative and what they have on hip hop, young people, and basically entertainment as a whole, man. What I found out, what you should learn. Let's get into it. All right, so real quick, much love to the Gladiator Gang. A salute to all my A1s from day one. And I just want to touch base on something real quick. We're kind of working on this little area right here, and there's been a lot going on in my life. A lot of y'all know doing chemo, getting ready to start third stage. Let's go. We're rocking out with that, man, and we're doing okay. Went back the other day for every week I have to go a couple times just to see what the kidneys look like and things like that. Well, my kidneys were not doing too good, so they postponed one of the medicines, and I'm gonna have to go back to get that because my kidneys were like, "Nah, we're not feeling that." So sometimes when I come back from those treatments, man, a couple of days where I just don't feel good, and that's why I don't make videos every day. I want to, and maybe one day when it's all over, we will. That being said, pushing forward, man. It's enough of that. We're gonna beat it. We're gonna be all right. That being said, as well, stop saying that's being said. Anyway, man. So my girl comes to me. She says, "You gotta see this, man." So I watched this video she shows me, and it was crazy to watch these up and coming rappers from like the 80s and 90s. We're talking about how they were taken to different houses when they were up and coming and being introduced to different people. And the things that they were talking about were kind of odd at first and off-putting, but I was like, well, let me just kind of like wait, let me see, you know. Well, I come across a story, and it was really, really interesting because the guy was like, we go in this room, and our producer's there, our promoters are there, everything's there, and they started basically telling them what their narrative was going to be and how they were trying to direct hip hop in a way that, and I guess music in general, and I guess Hollywood in general, uh, to a very negative impact. Like they were trying to like say that they wanted to take out. If you notice, there's a shift. You look at like 80s, 90s rap, early 90s rap, and you had Fresh Prince of Bel Air, you had DJ Jazzy Jeff, Run DMC, all the things, right? These guys were talking about, yeah, Public Enemy, talking about positive things. Queen Latifah, KRS-One. Then you started to see this shift, man. Right? You started to see the shift where you don't see that anymore. How do we go from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince to Murder on My Mind? How did that happen? How do we go from Paperboy? I don't know if you guys remember Paperboy. Don't do that, right? But yeah, you go from songs like the Diddy and things like that. No Diddy. But to things that they talk about now. And how is it pushed so prevalently? Like, how is it pushed so hard through social media? Why do you think that is? Well, what these guys were talking about was that it's been a long standing narrative that they do this to keep prisons full. I've talked about, and the reason I'm doing this video is because it does correlate with what I talk about. Prison and all the things, right? Now, what you have to see is this. What other individuals do a lot of these young kids growing up in these poverty-stricken neighborhoods and environments, who do they have to look up to? They're looking up to the dealers, they're looking up to the pimps, all the things that got money. Because people don't have money down there. They don't have money. They're broke. They're scrambling. They're eating ramen noodle dinners. I know this feeling. I was there. I've been there. So what these people are doing is they're taking their money, investing in these up-and-coming artists. Now, they give these artists the opportunity to then invest into their system, the prison system, the revolving door of the prison system. So they say to these guys are telling the story. And he says, well, you can now invest your money into what we got going on. We can all get paid, but all you got to do as an up-and-coming artist is to spit the narrative. Damn. So you're saying all I got to do is send people that I'm supposed to love, care about my people, down just run them into a snag for a couple dollars? And a lot of these guys have, man. That's why you have these guys who are now putting people on blast. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, because they're not talking about this. Even the Cat Williamses and even other people who are putting all these, narratives out there. Oh, I'm putting everyone on blast. Well, you didn't quite put everybody on blast, did you, Cat? You didn't quite put everybody on blast, because I think that a lot of these guys are plants. They want to give you certain parts of the narrative. They want to give you certain parts of the story, but they're only going to allow whatever they, and they might even let me drop this video, but I'm dropping it. That's a fact. It is a fact. They are pushing these artists to talk about these things, and then when they've used them up, they're going to then put them in court, take all their money through legal fees. They're going to get that money back. Maybe lock them up for the rest of them. How long has Melly been locked up now? 4 years? 2, 3 years? He's been locked up years going to court? Come on, bro. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. His case is not that complex. They got video of them guys going to shooting people, man. They're just dragging it out for the narrative. For the narrative. I know guys that have had way more complex cases than that I've seen and been in prison with, who were done in 6 months, guys. It doesn't take 2, 3, 4, 5 years to do this. Slime Gang, whatever his name is, that guy, Young Thug. Young Thug that trial has been a debauchery, right? From the judges to the attorneys to geez, bro. That shit's been hilarious. But they've put it on social media, and they pushed it to all the algorithms. I don't care what your algorithm is, but you watch, you'll see that stuff. Why? They want people to see it. They want people to feel like, oh, he's going to get off. Free Thug. Free Melly. Free Thug and free Melly. So if I go out here, decide, hey, man, I'm just going to be an outlaw again, and I'm going to go out here and commit crimes, it's going to be free big land. Is it? Make it make sense? And I'm not saying I don't want anybody to go to prison, but at the end of the day, man, there's people that belong in prison. And there's people that don't. Do you really think that these guys are innocent? Do you really think that these guys are innocent of the crimes that they're saying that they did? No, they're not. They're guilty of a lot of stuff. They sung about it in their songs. They admitted to doing it in their songs. And my thing is this. If that's the narrative you want to push, cool. Fine. That's not what I want my children to listen to. That's not what I want my children, they'll talk about these young women out here. They talk about, oh, I'm going to pop my other things, the WAP, and they're teaching 13-year-old girls to twerk on social media, to be sexually active. They're like, this is what you're teaching. This is on the radio. This is not something you have to find and download. These are songs on the radio. I remember growing up. I'm 45 years old. I remember growing up and getting 2 Live Crew album was like, man, I got that 2 Live Crew album. I don't know if you guys know who 2 Live Crew is, but that's kind of what started all this. It amazes me that we are living in a world where young children are being used as objects like that. Now, these are the same people who will put a Nasser or one of those guys up on a TV screen, show their trial about touching little girls. But who promoted that? Who promoted all this stuff, man? It starts with y'all. It starts with it starts with the consumer. It starts with the consumer, man, because at the end of the day, if we're not buying this and we're not buying into it, and we start seeing it for what it is, then we're not gonna perpetuate it. Our children are not gonna see it. And it goes back to what these guys were talking about. They're like, listen, we told them, I don't want to invest in your prisons. I don't want to help the young African Americans or Spanish kids or white kids or anybody else send themselves to prison or send somebody else up out of here, destroying 2 families, destroying 2, 3, 4 lives, just lives, all for money. It's always the sake of money. Guys, we control the narrative. We do. We might think that they have control of everything, but it's our tax dollars, it's our money, it's our consumer dollars that are pushing the narrative. It's our money, it's our desire to see these things. You know, and like we fall for it, hook, line, sinker. I'm guilty of it, you're guilty of it, we're all guilty of it. But we can't preach about change, and we can't preach about, you know, different ways of making the world better until we make the world better. I'm just saying, guys, you know, if it's 2 + 2 = 4, then it's going to equal 4 every time. That being said, check into this, man. It's pretty cool stuff. That's being said. Anyway, guys, we are going to be talking about some more stuff like this. Tell me in the comments whether you like it or not. I know it's a little right now, but we'll get it. And just take a look down. Go down that rabbit hole, man. I'm just bringing it kind of to light right now. I'm not going to go deep into it right now because I like to see where I want to see if the views, you know, if they match up to what I think they're going to, and I want to see if people get interested because I've got a lot of information on this. I've got names. I've got places, addresses that these guys went to, but I don't want to like spend a lot of time and effort and energy if it's not going to be worth it. So, you know, just dive into it, man, and see what these guys are talking about. It's very interesting. We also have a video we're working on right now about AI prisons. It's kind of weird. I seen JD Delay. Shout out to JD Delay, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. What's up, Chad? I seen those guys did a couple shorts on this, but this thing is called Cognify, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically an AI prison that gives you years worth of prison memories and thoughts and feelings in hours. And then you're released back into society. So instead of taking years of your life, but there's got to be some side effects to this, man. There's got to be some like downfalls that they're not talking about, right? There's no way that it's just like, oh, it's so awesome. No, I don't think so. Much love to the Gladiator Gang, man. Salute to all the A1s from day one. And as always, man, stay up, stay out, stay sucker free. Let's go.